Wow, I know that a lot of people have already made theories about PetSCOP, but I think many theorists ignore some really important elements, and I want to fix it. So, here you see a different approach of understanding PetSCOP and a brand new PetSCOP theory. If you have no idea what PetSCOP is, just check it out by yourself. It is a wonderful web series made in the form of Let's Play. We see how Paul, who found this game, is playing it, and how this unfinished colorful game is changing into something sinister. I won't talk about stuff that has already been told, so in this video we will discuss the following topics: the meaning of the word PetSCOP, a connection between Even Care and Underworld, missing references, who is Windmill Girl, who is Tiara and Belle, who is Rainer, the role of music in PetSCOP, who is an author of PetSCOP, and finally, what we don't know for now. The meaning of the word PetSCOP. Well, it's just a misspelling of the word pet shop. Let's move on. A connection between... Wait, you don't believe me? How can it be just a misspelling? Why didn't people who made this game fix it? And who can make such a stupid mistake? Me. And other people with dyslexia. I think you know what dyslexia means, and misspelling is one of its symptoms. People with dyslexia often try to guess an order of letters rather than remember it. For example, in my school years, I used to write algebra as ALGELBRA with L. I truly believed that it was a right way to write this word until my classmate pointed at it. And I started to argue. I thought she trolled me, but no, she was right. I saw this word almost every day on my textbook, but for some reason I misspelled it so awfully. And I can understand how someone remembers that for a sound sh, 2 letters should be used, but they decided that the second letter is C instead of H because they are dyslexic. I'm not sure if it makes sense for you, but it clearly does for me. In PetSCOP, there is a dyslexic character, Marvin. He makes a mistake in the word school, calls Paul's avatar Pall, which may be Paul or Pal. Actually, it is so smart way to keep in secret who we see in demo, Paul or some another entity. I just want to applaud for that. It's ingenious. So, this misspelling has a purpose. It said that Pet Shop belongs to Marvin, that this whole story is about him and his family. A connection between Even Care and Underworld. Some places in Underworld are connected to Even Care, and we know that they are connected via signs. A room with Candace and Wavy is connected to Marvin's house, and a room with Amber is connected to Quitter's room. So, according to color theory, each character has their own color of text. And from a letter in Kara's room, we know that green character is Kara's father. And in Marvin's house, Paul finds Kara, his daughter. So, it's safe to say that green character is Marvin. A pet Candace is also associated with green character aka Marvin. And in Even Care, Candace is not alone. She is with Wavy, who is essential to her because without water he provides, she would die. And there is a speculation that Wavy is Rainer, because, you know, the cloud is raining, Rainer, and rain. Especially after Paul found another message from Rainer, who said that they made it for Marvin. So Rainer really cares about Marvin, and maybe too much. Raina truly loves Marvin and can do anything for him. As you may know, Quita's room is a reference to an attachment therapy, which was a horrible practice that took a life of 10-year-old Candace Newmaker and traumatized a lot of innocent children. If you want to know more about it, you can visit a Wikipedia page about Candace Newmaker, but I must warn you, after that you will lose any faith in humanity. Let's make it clear, Candace Newmaker's story is not what PetScope is about. It is just a reference, a key, a clue for understanding what is happening in PetScope. In this case, the reference tells us that Amber was one of the victims of an attachment therapy. Amber's description is she is very heavy, and that makes her life a little harder, as well as yours, means that she is depressed. The therapy traumatized her so much that she thinks she is useless and just a burden for everyone. Missing references. Who is Windmill Girl and where is the windmill? As I said earlier, references are important for understanding what is happening in PetScope. We need to know Daisy had Maisie to understand what LLM means. We need to know about Candace Newmaker to understand what happened to Amber and why she is so depressed. And we need some other references which would help us to find answers to complicated questions. The reference I'm going to talk about is not so easy to Google as previous ones. I'm talking about When Marnie Was There. I would try to not spoil everything if you want to read this book by yourself, but here is its plot. It's a story about Anna. She has no friends and feels lost. She was adopted by a woman who she refers to as Mrs. Preston. This woman is giving money for taking care of her, and when Anna found a paycheck, her condition gets worse, because she believes that Mrs. Preston keeps her only because of that. Mrs. Preston always tells Anna that she needs to talk to other girls and make friends, that she doesn't even try to make anything in her life, and that she is doomed to be a loser if she wouldn't change her behavior. But she couldn't. Mrs. Preston decides to send Anna to King's Lynn, where her friends live, completely alone. And there, Anna becomes depressed. She fails in social life. Again. But she finds an interesting house, and one day she meets someone who lives in it, Marnie, a girl who becomes Anna's first friend. Well, Pink Owl, it is interesting, but how is all this connected to PetScope? First of all, Anna is described as a girl with a short black hair, and Windmill Girl has a short black hair too. Windmill Girl gives both gems and disappears. It's like she tells him that it's the only thing that he cares about, and she, as a person, is nothing to him. As well as Anna believed that Mrs. Preston didn't truly love her. But Windmill itself is more important. It plays so significant role in the novel that it appears almost on every book cover. Firstly, because it was a place that Marnie was afraid of. Her parents had no time for looking after her, so she was raised by a nanny and a chambermaid. Every time Marnie cried or didn't want to do something, they said that they would lock her up inside of the windmill. Once, when she was a little girl, Marnie asked to buy her a red balloon, but instead she was given a pinwheel. She cried because of it, but her nanny said that if she didn't like a paper windmill, she would show her a real one. Secondly, Marnie and Anna met each other for the last time in the windmill. The next day, Marnie said goodbye to Anna and disappeared. Do you need more evidence that the book is a reference? Because for me it's clear that it is. But why is it so important? Well, I'm not sure if it is spoiler or not, because it's even on the book cover. But sorry if I ruin a reading for you. Marnie is Anna's imaginary friend. She is not real, but, well, she was. And it is a key to decode a message in Windmill Girl's room, which is in the child library. This note seems so surreal. How could a friend and a windmill disappear into thin air in minutes? Because they were imaginary. Just take a look what Rainer says. I found a picture of you.
Picture.
So what if it's not a photo but a drawing? A drawing of Marvin and his imaginary friend in front of a windmill. But Pink Cow, how can she be imaginary if she's Amber's sister? Just read When Marnie Was There or watch an anime and you'll understand how. Well, for now the story of Marvin and his friend seems to me something like this. Marvin was in foster family who adopted Amber and her sister. Something happened to Amber's sister and she disappeared. Then Marvin started to see a windmill and a girl near it. He drew a picture and showed it to Amber. She hoped that it was her sister and went to the windmill with Marvin, and it was a bad idea. She didn't see anything and anyone, and to prove to Marvin that there were no windmill and no girl, she returned home for a camera, and minutes later took a picture of him. And after Marvin saw a photo, he realized that neither windmill nor girl actually exists. That explains why Paul's avatar needs to become a shadow monster man to enter the windmill, because he must enter imaginary world first. Also, it tells us who's Amber's sister. I don't know her name, and we call her Red Character. What I know about her is that she is definitely connected to Toneth, because we see a picture of him and Randus in Even Care. Also, we didn't see Toneth himself in Even Care because he was imaginary. Paul can catch him only because Marvin plays with a game code to write a message. Also, she appears as a character with a red pyramid head in her sister's room, but before that, she played a second movement of Stravinsky's septet in Petscop 7. But we'll return to it later. Okay, but where is the windmill, or where was it? It should be a place where Amber and Marvin lived in 70s, and we actually can guess where it was. Just read a wiki page about an attachment therapy. It is found primarily in the United States, and much of it is centered in about a dozen clinics in Evergreen, Colorado, where Foster Klein, one of the founders, established his clinic in the 70s. So the first clinic was founded in 70s when Amber went through it. So it's safe to say that Amber and Marvin lived in Evergreen, Colorado, and that the windmill was there. Let's move on. Who is Tiara, and Belle? To answer this question, we must open Pandora's box and face the greatest evil on earth.
My little pony, ah.
Yes, My Little Pony. I'm serious. stay with me. It makes sense. In My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, you can see Diamond Tiara and Sweetie Belle. And Diamond Tiara got her cutie mark much earlier than Sweetie Belle. In PetSCOP 12, we get pre-recorded messages from Raina, and they seem to be made by other person. This manner of speech is kinda out of character, and I think these messages are from Raina, but from a younger version of them. This version is playing with their toys. Raina was traumatized and probably was on some kind of a therapy. I know that the first episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic came out in 2010, but My Little Pony franchise existed a long time before, so Raina could be an owner of a previous Pony generation toy. The lines, "I'm calling you Belle because that's who you are," and "I was calling you Tiara prematurely," may be told by a child like, "I don't like your name, I will call you differently." At least it's how it seems to me. I believe that Raina was talking about a toy, but not a person. I hope this is true. And I think I know who Raina is. But that's for another video, because I didn't expect that it would be so long. It was a challenge for me to make even this video, so subscribe to my channel for another PetSCOP video. Next time we will talk about the second movement of Stravinsky's septet, and also we will try to guess what was censored and why. See you soon!
I played it innocent.